Okay. All right. We're recording. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Luongo, and welcome to the Monday night team up call. And tonight is very special because I think a lot of you know that we're just coming off of a pretty incredible SALT experience 2 weeks ago. And we're going to start bringing home to you some snippets from the SALT training. And we really delved into the work of Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. And tonight, one of the topics that we're going to cover is this idea of persistence. And so I couldn't think of anybody better to cover the persistence topic than Stephanie Fletcher. You know, Steph is she's our national marketing director. She's a health coach or guru. She has been in the fitness and the wellness industry as a personal trainer and corporate wellness for over 17 years, guys. So she walks the walk, she talks the talk. She's an entrepreneur, okay, because her and Holly Morris started a business together in Abilene years ago. And then, you know, Steph moved down to Peru, continued that business down there. So this is a woman who knows what she's talking about when she talks about persistence. And one of the things that I love about Steph is that she did her homework. When she came to SALT, she was prepared. She had watched the movie. We compared notes, and there was this aspect of the movie that absolutely resonated with her, and that was the aspect of burn the ships. So Steph, would you unmute yourself and talk to us about persistence, why it's important, what does it mean to you, and how does it show up in your life?
Well, make sure you guys can hear me because I'm on the last living laptop in my home. They've all been damaged, and this one has... Seriously, Kathy, you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me okay? Good? Okay. Okay, I can't go up any. I can just get closer and my head will get real big on the screen. Okay, I'll try to bring up the volume a little bit. Holly, nice. I'm looking at you, so, okay. All right, so is it not funny? You guys, I don't know about you guys, but on Sunday mornings when we go to church, it used to be this crazy madhouse. Like everyone's yelling like, let's go, get your clothes on, get breakfast. And you get to church and you're like, hallelujah, you know? And I swear, y'all, that's what happened tonight. And it was like a madhouse. We were trying to purchase a house. My husband's on the phone with these people. I'm like, this is bad timing, baby. You know, I got to revise my notes. I told you this. The kids were kind of getting a little crazy and I was getting a little loud. And I thought I got to the bathroom and I shut the door because that's the only place you can go these days by yourself sometimes. And I thought, isn't it so funny when you are working towards something, whether it's talking on something, whether it's leading a group, whether it's talking to a customer or a new prospect, and you're persistent about it because you want to be persistent about something. You have goals. And guess what? When you're persistent about something, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be anything that gets in the way. And I thought this was the perfect kind of segue to tonight, thinking, you know, I was being persistent. I wanted to be prepared, like Terry said. That is not my gift sometimes. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And as I had this whole plan to get ready, and it was like, boom, 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 boom. And I thought, wow, but you know what? I was going to do it. And I wanted it to be in front of here and to tell you guys just kind of everything I learned from the movie and just from this incredible story. And so I hope that Ann Kennedy, I don't see her, but I'm not going to look at everybody's faces, that is on here tonight because she's actually the person who introduced me to this story. But before, let's kind of backtrack. When you think of persistence, I mean, I'm sure everyone on this call has gone for a large goal and you've had to be persistent about something, you know, from anything back when you were a school kid, you know, talking about sports, when you talk about going for student council and college, getting through college, I had to be very persistent to get through college. You know, tons of things. When Holly and I started our company, you guys, when we started, we got super excited about starting this outdoor fitness company. And then we knew we could get people there and it was gonna be fun. And it was, you know, back then when we started, outdoor fitness was brand new, you guys. Now it's like everyone does it. But no one in our town was doing it. And so it was this brand new idea. We were excited. And then we started getting, oh, you have to have tax papers. And then you have to have insurance on your employees. And you have to have this. And I was like, what? I did not know that you had to do all this when you started a business. But thank goodness Holly was extremely organized and persistent. and got us through those hard stages of kind of starting a business. I was looking up the definitions of persistence. And so there was a couple definitions that stood out to me. But firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition, like my evening or some of y'all's evenings sometimes. And let's just be honest, I think at every event, if you guys have never been to an event, I'm going to highly encourage you to get your booties to one, okay? Because that essentially for most people is that turning point. All right, so you get home from an event, you're excited, you're motivated, and then boom, life happens, right? And you're like, oh, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is too hard. I probably should do something else. Maybe I'll try selling something else. Maybe that'll be easier. And so we start having these thoughts in our head that if we kind of jump ship, it's going to be a whole lot easier on the other side. Sometimes we've done that in relationships. Sometimes we've done that in so many things. The other one was, ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. Okay, and I love that definition. So I want to read you guys this little story. It's story time, so you don't have to take notes or anything. But this is a guy back in 1519. And you guys, if y'all know me well, you know history. I'm not a history buff, like whatsoever. I grew up in France for 12 years. I was a missionary kid in France, and I've kind of moved all over the place. And so I can't ever stick with like English and history are the two things that are just my complete downfalls. So when I was reading the story, I thought, am I really going to read this out loud? I've never gotten to read a history thing out loud, so I'm super pumped. All right, so 1519, there was a Spanish explorer by the name of Hernando Cortez. Have you guys heard of this guy? If you were at SALT, don't raise your hand, but if you weren't at SALT and you know this guy, raise your hand.
I know him before.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I had never heard of this before. I'm not going to lie. So essentially, he is going in for a treasure, to seize a treasure. Can you hear me, Holly? What?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. To seize a treasure from that the Aztecs had been hoarding. And so he gets all his soldiers and he gets all these boats, but he knows he is way outnumbered. Okay. There are way more people that are going to be trying to hold on to this treasure than he has men. But he goes in with these ships and with these men, and they get there. And right when they start getting there, some of the guys start trying to get back in the ships because they're like, we're dying. Like, there's no way we're surviving this. There's no way we're going to get this done. We're out of here. And so what he did, he seized his ships back. He got all the ships. There was 11 of them. And he burned them down, completely down. Because he said, we are doing this. We're burning the ships, and there's no turning back. We are not turning back. And so I was talking to my friend. I don't know if you guys saw the live video I did with a Chick-fil-A operative. Okay, his name is Stephen Kennedy. And he was awesome. And he owns a Chick-fil-A in Copper's Cove. And his wife, Ann Kennedy, is on my team. And that was kind of part of the story that y'all might have not known. And so we were talking one day. And obviously he's been super supportive about what she's doing and all that. But, you know, at the beginning, he definitely had a lot of questions like, well, you know, how are you going to make the money? How is this, you know, give me the whole model. Like, how is this all going to work? And so when we were talking back and forth, he could see so many similarities between his business model as a Chick-fil-A owner and our business model with the Juice Plus franchise. And so we kind of did this whole back and forth thing. And so eventually, I said, you've got to go on live with me and let's just compare for the world, because here's the deal. I found it so ironic that no one ever thinks twice to go into his Chick-fil-A store and buy chicken and French fries. But you hear mom talking about fruits and veggies in a capsule. And it's like, can I see your research? Can I see all the data on that? Can I see the website? I'm going to call corporate. I mean, it's like every question in the world, which is great. I love skeptics. Okay. But I do find it slightly ironic. And so we did this live thing. And so as Ann and I were kind of preparing for this, she was talking about this story. And she said, you know, when Stephen and I actually started, you know, our franchise is, you know, $50. Anyone can get in. It's not like you have to go through an application process and get chosen out of 20,000 people. That's what I said, because that's how many he was going against. I mean, it was like, it's this massive process to get a Chick-fil-A store. And so when they started and they said, okay, Stephen, if we're doing this, This is Ann talking. She said, we're burning the ships. Like, that's it. We are burning the ships. And if we're going to go for this, we're not going, there's no turning back. He's like, all right, babe. So they're in the beginning process. He's working the cash register just like everybody else. He's working in the back of the store, thawing that chicken, doing all kinds of things. And there were so many times, long hours, no money. They were, half broke. And he was like, babe, I just got to do something else. There's no way. She said, and she reminded him, we burn those ships. There is no turning back.
Yeah.
And I thought, how amazing to have a partner that will encourage you in that way and remind you in that way. And I think so many times we as upline need to do that too. When you give us a goal and you say, hey, I want to go for this, and then it gets hard, and you're like, oh, I just don't really know. And I should be the one that said, you know what? You burned those ships. Did you burn them? Because if you burn them, there's no going back. And imagine if when we signed that dotted line for this $50 franchise, if we said to ourselves, you know what? We're not going back. I am burning the ships. If selling fruits and veggies in a capsule or in a gummy, when it gets hard, when I'm told no, when one of my best friends says, there is no way I'm doing this, example after example after example. And what if you stuck? What if you stuck the road? And I never thought about this, Holly Morris, but I was thinking to myself, how many times we all know that I told Holly no for 10 years. We all know that part of the story. But I think to myself, I know for a fact that there was times that she thought, I'm bailing. And she was told by, I think it was David Beavers, right, Holly? That he just said, just stay on the roller coaster. Whatever happens, just stay on, because there's going to be a lot of lows. There's going to be some highs, but just stay on. And what if she stopped before Nicole came into the business, Nicole Fletcher? I think Fletchers are doing good in your business. You got 2 NMD Fletchers. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. But what if she just thought, my best friend doesn't even want to do this. Like, why am I even trying to do this? Right. What if she hadn't stuck long enough to have me actually change my mind and for me to catch a vision and then just stopped? And so I want to encourage you guys, when you are looking for those teammates or when you're looking for some customers, remember what you're doing this for. This is a business. This is your business. And if you want to continue to do this and you want to grow, you're going to have to be persistent. And you're going to have to be okay with the fact that some people are just not going to want to do this with you. And some people are telling you they don't want to do this with you, and they're going to change their mind later down the road. And so I want to encourage you guys, when you think about doing something, if it's running a marathon, if it's doing this business, whatever it is, if it's trying to have children and you have a hard time with it, and you end up having to do fertility or you have to adopt or whatever, those hard things sometimes, burn the ships. Just burn them. Because imagine what will come out later down the road. If you guys choose to say, I'm not turning back, like I'm doing this. This can be huge. I've got 2 missionaries, you guys, on my team in Lima, Peru. If you think it's hard for you guys to do this business here, when you can go to all these events that you have circled around you. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars to fly in for them. When anyone around you can be a potential customer, there pretty much no one around them can be a potential customer because they can't get the product in Peru. And they could be like, this is getting too hard. I don't want to do this. But you guys know what? I think they burn the ships. Yeah. They're in this. They're in this for the long haul. And when they choose to come back to the U.S., they're going to have a community. They're going to have a business. They're going to have an income that, when we got back, I didn't choose that. It was too hard for me. I was like, this is too hard. And so I didn't choose that in Peru. And when I got back and I thought, oh man, I've got to do something. We were high in debt. I had just had a baby via my uterus blowing up and things were not going well financially. And so I didn't have many choices. And my husband, as wise as he was, suggested this. And though we didn't say like, yeah, we're burning the ships, y'all, I kind of came in, 1 foot at a time. But when I went in 2 feet and I decided this is what I wanted to do, I can tell you guys, I metaphorically burned those ships. I was like, here we go. Let's do this. And so a lot of times people ask like, well, how did you do it? Or, I'm telling you guys, if you mentally don't give yourself a way out, don't give yourself all these plan Bs and plan Cs and all this kind of stuff, you can do it. So I want to encourage you guys tonight. That's really all I want to say is just burn your ships and do it.
See, no excuses. And this is what I'm hearing, is that first you got to know what you want. You got to make a decision. I used to call it the indecision dance. I'm in, I'm out, I'm not sure. Let me check with my brother. Let me blah, blah, blah. Once you get out of the indecision dance, make a clear, unbending decision, and then burn the ship. And I guarantee you, every single national marketing director that's ever been at the podium burned the ship. I mean, when I made the decision 24 years ago that I was going to do this, there was no out for me. I knew that this was going to be my path to success. And this was my path to success, okay? But it never entered my mind that I was going to back out. And so what if we held Team Up to that standard? What if we said, number one, I'm going to just little play on Jamie Cantrell. What if we said as an organization that burn the ship, we qualify our business and we stay qualified, end of story. That's one of our core values. We burn the ship, no excuses. What if we started having that mindset? Because this is what I know about staying persistent. That's why you got to get clear about what you want and the direction you want, what it is that you want, because persistence is developed when you want something so much that it becomes a burn, like in the pit of your stomach. That's when you develop persistence. So, you said, Steph, get yourself to an event. And I'm going to tell you, if you want to develop that burn in the pit of your stomach, if you want clarity and purpose about what it is that you're doing here, you're in Tampa in a couple weeks.
Amen.
Yeah, you're in Tampa. Does anybody want to unmute themselves and talk to me out loud here? We've got about 10 minutes about what conference means to them. What have you gained by going to conference? Anybody have any conference experiences that they want to share? Kathy Schlund, what's your conference experience?
We were talking the other day, and what I realized is that if I miss conference, I feel like I am totally 100% out of the loop. I feel like I'm not in the know of what's going on. There's nothing that conveys it better than hearing it from corporate, from center stage, from the trainers from center stage. It doesn't matter what it is. And if I miss a conference, I feel like until I get there again, I don't quite feel whole, if that even makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
You know, there's so many little individual things that come out that can't truly get relayed and own it if I'm not there.
Okay. Anybody else want to share why conference is important to you? Who is that?
Is it Sonia or Sonia? I know two different ones, so go ahead and unmute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Sonia.
I've only been to two, so this will be my third, but there's just nothing like that energy and being in that room surrounded by all of everyone who's in it and burning those ships. Like you said, you can't describe it. You can't convey that to someone who missed it. And after the fact, you can try to explain, but and even this time, I'm like, oh, money's a little tight. I don't know. What should I? No, I can't afford to not be there. Like, you're going to make the effort and do whatever you need to do to get there, because you can't miss out on 6 months. And I told my friends that I invited, I said, the next conference is all the way in California and it's 6 months away. So we got to go to Tampa. So, I got a guest who's coming to Tampa. She's client. She's a client, but she's not a distributor yet. So I'm
She will be. So what that tells me about you, Sonia, is that you are not focusing on the problem. You are focusing on the solution. Okay, and that's what we've got to do, my friends. You've got to stop focusing on the problem and let's start focusing on the solution. All right, anybody else want to share why conference is so important to them that they would never miss a conference? Kelly Ballard. Unmute yourself, sugar. There you go.
Okay, hope you can hear me, everybody. And I got to kind of piggyback on what you guys are saying already, but here's my advice is it's the value and the validation of aligning yourself with the right people in the right place at the right time. And when you don't do it, you're pretty much setting your business back 6 months.
So
that's how I look at it.
Okay, so Kelly, you're a mom. You got some kids, right? How many kids do you have?
Oh, 2.
Okay, I'm going to bet that getting out of town is not easy.
No.
Preparing the food, arranging pickups, who's going to take who to a game, who's going to do this. I mean, let's face it, guys, for you moms, I mean, I'm out of the mom mode, but I remember I had 3 when I started at home, high school, middle school, elementary school. Would you say that at the end of the day, all of that energy that you put into getting there was worth it?
Oh, every single time. Every single time.
And I would bet, Kelly Ballard, that you come back the way you do, Sonia, okay, and everyone that's on the call, you come back a better person. You come back a stronger mom. You come back a better rep. You have that Stephanie Fletcher burn the ship mindset.
Absolutely.
All right. Steph, what about you? Any closing thoughts? And then I want to talk to you about the team luncheon for 2 seconds.
Well, I'm just excited because I know a lot of these faces are already going. And I know some of you are sitting there that have, specific things. I know one of my teammates has an actual vacations and planned for a long time on those exact dates. Another one's leading something on those. So I know it's going to happen. Y'all, we're not saying, if there's something on those exact dates. Now that, when you get to a certain point, you plan for those vacations, right? And so you're like, hey, conference is there. Nope, sorry, I can't go on that vacation because it's part of your job. This is like, when it's twice a year, it's a big part of your job. But here's what's cool is if that is you, okay, if that is like, I know for a fact because those dates are there, then there's other things the company does. Like in January, we have a huge Dallas summit that is going to be off the charts too. So like that's in that midpoint. And so I love the fact that we have this huge conference. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But if you have something on those exact dates, not like I don't have enough money to go, or that's being part of the problem, right? The solution is I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make that money and go. Amen. That's where I was at. I mean, believe me, I did not have money the first time I went to the conference. I was like, I'm broke as a joke. Mom, you want to go with me? Is what I said. So we could share everything. But you guys, we made it happen. Okay. And part of that solution, like Terry says, because it's an investment, nowhere can you start a business and not invest some money into it. I mean, I think people sign, they do $50 and you're like, we're going to make some money. Yeah, you're going to make some money. You also got to put in some money. It's part of a business. That's a business plan. You find me one business plan that you're not going to invest some money up front. Not going to happen. Okay. So you've got to put it in. This is your investment, and your investment that you get to put in is an incredible, fun, life-giving, educational, inspirational. Y'all, there's going to be an American Idol person there. What? I was like, I got to get on that stage. I got to get on that stage and meet them. I don't know who they are, but I'm so excited. So you guys have got to go. Okay, that's my final words.
Okay, we'll go check them out in the green room. All right, guys, our Team Up luncheon is going to be Friday at conference. Listen to this. How many of you been to a Team Up luncheon? Fun, right? So we're going to have the same kind of energy and games and raffles and stories and recognition. But I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a special drawing for those distributors that are customer qualified. A very special drawing. Look at the customer qualified reps. So how many days left in September? How many days of business? 6, 5, and we got qualifiers day. You have, what is it? It's 7 days. Is it 8 with qualifiers day with Holly? Do the numbers. All I know is that in 7 days, if you start promoting Shred tonight, okay, because most of us have a Shred starting October 1st or October 8th, you get excited about Shred. You start building some Shred customers. Many of you who are not customer qualified can get customer qualified effortlessly by the conference, by the end of the business of month of September. All right, you guys are the best. Get yourself customer qualified. Make it a standard. Make it a core value. I'll see you guys. What are we doing next Monday night? We're doing something fun. The most powerful women. Oh my gosh, have you seen that flyer? You're not going to want to miss one of those calls. The most powerful women.
Yours, especially not yours.
That's December, baby. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Peace out. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me, Terry.
Bye, baby. You were great.
Thanks.
Burn the ships, baby.